Hello and welcome to Excellent News Delivery, the most excellent news delivered directly to you. I am your host, Sam. This podcast is made just to talk about some more positive stuff going in the world and just have some chill out vibes and just talk with some friends. So I have three guests with me today. If you want to introduce yourselves.
Hi!
Shall we still go with some names and stuff just so people can recognize voices?
Oh, go on. It's going wrong already.
Hi guys, I'm Rebecca.
Hi guys, I'm Freya.
Hi, I'm Kira.
And this is the first ever episode, so we may get some technical difficulties as we go on, but just to jump into the show itself, we'll start with talking about just a sort of general, what have people been up to? What have you been watching while this whole lockdown stuff's been going on?
So much Netflix.
Yeah, to be honest. But there's so many different things to watch and I just don't know what to watch.
I've been addicted to Community. As soon as that came on Netflix, I think I marathoned 3 seasons of that. Completely hooked on that. So it's a chill out sitcom. Any sort of chill out sitcom I can love.
I mean, there's been the new seasons of Rick and Morty coming out. I haven't really been getting into them that much, to be fair, but
it started off weak. I think the first episode was kind of like weak. I had to look up a explanation to like how it works and how the plot of it functions. But I feel like I think it's the latest episode that's been released in the UK. That one I enjoyed that, like the whole Morty resetting the world every few minutes.
Yeah. I just think they're going off sometimes.
I mean, how many episodes they signed on for now? 70, 80 episodes? It's something like that.
Yeah.
So they've got a contract to meet with all that, so they've got to stretch it out now.
I must be one of the few people that don't watch Rick and Morty.
I also don't watch Rick and Morty.
Okay.
What do you guys watch then?
I've seen a few episodes of Rick and Morty when I was at college, but I'm not into animations, so.
Well, I mean, when we were living together, not to reveal too much, you were massively into Love Island.
Oh, yeah, but that's because I got attached, not because I actually. Well, no, actually, I did like it. Yeah, I like drama. I like reality TV drama because my life's boring, so I just invest into their drama.
No, but to be fair, I think I first watched one episode with you, and I just got hooked. You got me hooked on The Circle. That was something.
Okay, yeah, The Circle is good. The Circle's good.
But
that's got so many different types of people in it.
You come into sort of any reality show, you're like, oh, I'm not going to care about this, and then I think I got into a weekly ritual watching The Circle with all of you, and it's you start caring, and it hits you then.
Yeah, because you get an attachment to the characters.
Because
not the characters.
Yeah.
Who was it we all got really into? I forget his name, the older bloke. It's going to upset me now.
Like Tim. You liked Tim.
Oh, Tim was lovely. I love Tim.
Applications are out now, if anyone wants to apply for The Circle.
Well, you can apply now?
Uh-huh.
We all apply.
I'd say it works with social distancing, doesn't it? No one else is in that apartment with you.
Yeah, true. Oh my god, and Tim even had his cat, so I can take my cat or my dog.
But real question is, would you catfish or would you go real?
I'd go real because I'd just end up tripping myself up.
Yeah.
But then saying that, I feel like I've not got much to talk about.
I think I'd go fake, just to see.
What kind of fake would you go for? What kind of person would you want to fake?
See, I think I'd be boring and probably just go for I don't know, someone I know so that I wouldn't trip up, but someone that's more interesting than I am.
Yeah, the people that fake always do better if they're playing someone that they know and they can draw off. Like the guy who played she played her son, right?
Well, yeah, it was something. No, wasn't the guy who played his mum or something?
Yeah, there was one of each. There was a lady that played her son. She was blonde, and she played her son, who was a constructor or something. And then there was Sammy, who was James.
Yeah, no, I remember that because it was he made it to the final, didn't he? And then you got all the reactions from everyone else because he was, I think, the only one left who was faking who he was.
Yeah.
In general of that. I think in terms of other stuff, I finally sat and watched Spirited Away. I don't know if anyone recognises that film. It's an older one.
I've heard of it. I've not watched it.
Oh, it's one of those animations that's so beautifully done that it just draws you in. But I finally sat and watched that.
Oh, I watched the launch last night.
Oh yes, that is something that was quite big across the world. SpaceX launch.
I didn't. I didn't know it was happening. I didn't know when it was happening because it was supposed to happen earlier in the week, wasn't it? But then it got pushed back because of the weather.
Yeah, well, to be fair, I didn't know it was happening, and all of a sudden it's like, news articles are popping up, and it's something new and exciting. So it's like, and then I've got like people messaging me like, "Oh, it's happening right now," and I'm seeing people on like Snapchat, Instagram stories sharing it, and I'm like, wow, I was
Well,
not.
you missed it then.
Well, the last we heard about Elon was the name of his kid, and I have no clue how you even pronounce
I don't know
it.
how you pronounce it.
It's like Ayash or something.
Yeah.
But they've had to change it because it originally had a number 12 at the end, but because they're in California, you can't have numbers in your name. So now they've had to change it to Roman numerals at the end.
Was there not like an equal sign in the middle of it or something? I feel like...
I just don't know why you would want to put... I mean, I understand that the name has a meaning, but why would you want
to... But this is Grimes and Elon Musk. Like...
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
I mean...
If it was anyone.
This was what surprised me yesterday, seeing the space launch, because like at one point it's like he's lost all his investment because he's going on saying some crazy stuff on different shows and everything like that, and then I see like, oh, he's promoting the launch of the space thing today, and I was like, oh, that's something new. But in terms of that, and then also talking about some fun news stuff, does anyone know what a mouse deer is?
A what?
A mouse deer. It's a rare type of species of deers that actually went extinct a little while ago, but scientists have found the first evidence of that they returned. They were last seen in the 1990s, and they were re-seen a week ago.
Where were they seen?
They were seen in Vietnamese. I can't pronounce it now. Vietnamese. A Vietnamese forest. They were first spotted
in Vietnam.
Yes, in a Vietnam forest. But I mean, honestly, if you actually check out the images of them in themselves, you can see why they're called a mouse deer. It's the body of a deer and the legs of a mouse.
That's so weird.
What?
No, honestly, you need to check. When you got some free time, Google up a fanged mouse deer, and it's a combination of a deer's body, mouse's legs. But yeah, they've been sighted after being last seen in the 1990s, so 30 years later.
It's so weird with stuff like that because you think something's extinct, but it's just like hiding. Like the other day, I was thinking about, do you know the megalodon?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that went extinct like what, 300 million years ago or something? 30 million? I don't even know. I'm making numbers up. But yeah, I'm still like, that could just still be alive, just like really deep in the sea. So we never know where anything could be.
Yeah, we think we know a lot more than we do.
Yeah.
As a
honestly,
humankind.
Just wait till the dodo bird re-shows up. That'll be that's the next exciting thing for us to happen.
Look at a dodo just walking down the street.
Yeah, just walking towards your local supermarket. But saying about things that have been rediscovered, I'm sure this is going to fill everyone with excitement. But in February of this year, Huey Lewis and the News released their first album in 19 years.
Yeah, I did see that actually.
Yeah, the album and Weather has been released in February after the main vocalist Huey Lewis actually lost his hearing.
That was their last one, wasn't it?
It is their last one. Well, in theory, unless his hearing suddenly gets better. Like he hasn't toured in 2 or so years. But it is. I mean, I am ever so a fan of the band, and the end goal of this podcast is to one day get him on the show, and then after that, I'm happy to call it quits.
Good luck.
That's the peak. Get Huey Lewis on the show. We've reached the peak. The quality doesn't matter what happens.
Right, that's the goal now. We're on episode 1. You've already stated what your goal is.
You got to state what the goal is. Episode 1. You got to fully dedicate to it. But no.
Watching on episode 2 now.
If he comes on episode 4, that'll be the shortest series of podcasts. Weekly podcast stops after episode 2 just because he comes on. But But also talking about more exciting stuff, has anyone seen the first hybrid floating ocean platform that can generate power from waves, winds, and solar panels?
No.
No.
So
You know the most random stuff.
Oh no, this is the fun stuff that people don't always know about, but it is like, it's kind of exciting. Like, again, it's something worth Googling up and having a look online, but it quite literally is just a floating platform in the water that generates energy, and it's meant to be clean energy, so we're kind of,
That's cool.
yeah,
Where
it was,
is it?
came out in the 30th, well, that's when I read about it, so it's quite recent. And it also is in Philadelphia, the world's largest open art gallery, which was painted by people with learning disabilities. And honestly, looking at some of the pictures of that, it is stunning. The paintings they've done, but I think it's got the world record now for being the largest open air museum.
I feel like you'd be really good at making quizzes, like pub quizzes.
Oh,
But
honestly, half this show is just to share the stuff people don't know about, like links to like all the sort of article stuff will be in the description, so it's like stuff people can read about and just sort of smile and enjoy. But it was a fun little thing I found online. But
Interesting.
actually, in Philadelphia, they also have this massive sort of outdoor garden art museum, which is made all out of like recycled material. I've actually visited it. It's stunning. It's just literally like glass bowls are made to like make the walls. Like panels are on the floor. It is really, really sort of a beautiful thing to look at. And that's why I recommend going to Philadelphia.
Oh yeah, because that's where you went to camp, isn't it?
Yeah,
Oh,
well, I worked there last summer, and it was awesome seeing that. Like, there are things like baseball stadiums. You think things like in England, football stadiums are massive. You see a baseball stadium, and you're in a different world.
mm.
They've got like major league, minor league, and even a minor league stadium. Like, we ended up in like a VIP section, and the size of it was crazy in and of itself.
Yeah.
So, any other sort of positive news anyone else wants to share at all? Anything you've
Yeah.
seen? Yeah.
You guys heard about the We Are One film festival that's going on?
The Weird Al, the musician.
We Are One.
Oh, I was going to say Weird Al. He's having a film festival.
No, they're like bringing a load of film festivals together online.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's a global film festival.
When's that supposed to be then?
I don't know when it started or if it's already started, but it says that there's a YouTube channel broadcasting continuously from Friday, so it's already started, until Sunday the 7th of June.
Ooh.
And it will just continuously play more than 100 films, including 13 world premieres and 31 online premieres.
I say that's the weird thing about films now as well. You've got to think that like a lot of films are like coming out online, that were meant to be released like in the cinema originally. Like, what was it? The Scooby-Doo movie that became an online release only.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool to see all this stuff. I mean, as any way to like promote the creative arts, that's always sort of a fun thing to do.
Yeah, so this festival's 21 different festivals all like combined together.
It's a good
Just
idea
to show
though.
different language films and stuff.
That's cool. I say, well, wasn't it last year was the first year a foreign film won an Oscar or something? I want to say,
What, when Parasite won?
yeah, Parasite won. I'm sure it was something like that.
An Oscar? Didn't it win an Oscar?
Yeah.
But yeah, that won an Oscar. I think that was like the first foreign film to win an Oscar, or first film that wasn't like dubbed in English, which was kind of cool to see.
I still haven't actually seen it yet, and I know loads of people said it's a really good film.
Yeah, I've not seen it either.
No, it is fun. It's a fantastically well-filmed film, but then considering where we're at right now as well, it's not the most wonderful reflection on how we're doing. But great, no, it's worth watching. It's worth a watch. So anything else anyone wants to share at all before we move on to our next segment?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, go on.
Go on, Kira.
I feel like I'm really late to the party, but I started watching Boy Meets World.
Oh, that was oh, I love that series. Watching that.
Yeah, I decided to start from the beginning, and I feel like everyone I say it to is like, why? But no, it just seems light-hearted and fun.
Oh, that's what you need. Sitcoms right now are the things to rewatch. Like I've started rewatching How I Met Your Mother just for that same reason. Anything that's lighthearted and fun is just great to watch.
I feel like I'm living in a sitcom right now.
In what way?
Every day starts the same and ends the same. Me just in my house, like.
Well, where's the plot development to that then? If it all starts the same and ends the same, they have like little developments at the end of each season.
Well, we're still in season 1.
Stuck in season 1, episode 1.
Yeah, I'm just replaying. I'm on loop.
You enjoyed it that much?
Literally, I'm living in the world's most boring sitcom.
Yeah, but that's the same mood I think I have. Like things like Fuller House, that's got a new season, the last bit of it coming out on Netflix, but I'm still sat rewatching like the last season just because I'm waiting for it.
Oh, I've still been meaning to watch the second season of Dead to Me.
Oh, I think the second season's better than the first.
Do you?
Yeah.
I'm sure someone was recommended it to me, and I was like, it's meant to be good. But then I got freaked out a bit because I remember that show that came out was the one with that woman who has to like gets a taste for human flesh and she has to eat it to survive.
Oh, Santa Clarita Diet or something.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I got a similar vibe for a second when I watched the initial trailer. I was like, I don't know if I can relive watching something like that again.
That was really good. I watched that last year, I think, last summer or something. And I'm really good into it.
That's all out on, yeah, it's all finished now on Netflix, I want to say. Like, they got to their whatever ending they were doing and they've finished, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Nice.
I've not seen it. Have you guys heard that Richard Ayoade is going to host the BAFTAs?
I have not. I don't recognise the name.
Yeah, they're doing it. They're broadcasting it like from behind closed doors, and Richard Ayoade is going to be presenting it.
Wait, his name does sound familiar. What has he been in? I might know him from.
IT Crowd.
Oh, I was going to say that, but I was too scared I had that wrong. So that's all on Netflix, to be fair. I've sat and rewatched that too many times. Did you ever see the American version of that?
No, I don't think I want to. I don't feel like it'll be as good. I feel like it'll be, you know, how they copied The In-Betweeners.
Oh, it is quite literally like that. Or it's like, if you ever saw the first episode of the US Office, it's like a recreation of the first English episode. And they replace most of the cast, but they actually keep him, the guy hosting the Oscars. He still plays the same character, but everyone else is recast with a new American actor.
It ruins it when they do that, and I can't watch it.
Yeah, but they have bigger budgets to go for longer series. Like, you think most English series kind of cap off 2 to 3 seasons, and then like the US Office went on for 10 seasons, I want to say. Like, they go on for ages. Because it's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is currently going for the longest sitcom at the moment. Like I think it's season 14, 15, and they want to go for the record.
I'm not a fan of Always Sunny.
I don't know. I mean, it's a bit of, it is a darker comedy, but then I think it's a nice mix up to the sitcom formula. And then you've got Danny DeVito, so you can't go wrong.
I recently started watching it, but now that you've said that, I'm thinking, oh, if it's that long, I might start something else in between.
No, but it's one of those shows that you can just click off. This is why I love sitcoms, because you can like half watch. Like, as long as you're kind of watching, you know what's happening.
You can just have it on in the background while you're doing stuff.
It's just like when you're half watching and then you start fully watching again, and all of a sudden Danny DeVito's jumping out of a sofa naked.
Have you watched Schitt's Creek?
I have not seen that, no.
That one's good. That's just like easy watching. It's just basically a family who have gone bankrupt, and the guy's bought like this town for his son, so they all start going living there. But it's just funny and just about their new lives, basically, and them adapting to just everyday life.
I think I might have heard of it. For a second I thought you were talking about that show that had the serial killer Dexter in, and I was like, that's a dark twist to make it a comedy.
No, No, this one's it's just lighthearted and funny.
Cool. Anyway, moving on. We will move on to our little quiz that we have every week. So just to sort of explain the rules, this is a quiz that I kind of did in this other radio show I was on at one point. I look up really awful film descriptions of films. I read them out, and then you have to try and guess what the film is.
Oh, God.
Although you might be a bit of an advantage this week, because the theme I've gone for the first week is films I recommend watching. You know, some on Netflix, some are out on DVDs. So
Okay.
yeah, might be able to take a bit of advantage with that. Just because this quiz tends to become who yells quickest the loudest, can we go all around the room and just sort of make a noise that you want to buzz in with?
Woo!
I don't know.
Rah!
So we've got a woo, we've got a rah, and finishing off we have a...
Woof.
I feel like I'm going to do so bad at this. I've seen hardly any films for being in a film school.
You might be all right. I think I did a quiz once, and I remember, like, I think you going like, "Oh, if you know Sam, you know some of the answers."
Ah,
So,
yeah, but the answer was probably Huey Lewis in the News.
That's very true. All right, well, let's just give it a go and see what happens. I'll give you a little hint that a lot of these films are 80s based. So
Oh, God.
that may hinder or help.
I already know what some of them are going to be.
All right, let's do it then. Right. Two slacker friends tried to promote their public access cable show.
Oh my God, I can't remember the name of it.
I've got literally no idea.
If it helps you, it did star the main character who also stars in Shrek. Same actor.
Oh, is it Wayne's World?
It is Wayne's World.
Never seen it.
Oh, a fantastic film. It is quite literally the most chill-out film you could ever watch.
You fancy dressed as?
Yeah, I actually dressed up as him once, and it was great fun. Like, it's the most easiest character to recognize in the world, because the cap literally says the name of the film, so you never have that awkward moment like at Halloween where you're like, who are you dressed up as? You can just, like, point to the hat. And I
Just
also...
reminds me of when you were dressed up as, what's it from Mario Kart?
Oh, I dressed up as
Oh, you did
Toad.
Toad. Yeah. I saw pictures of that earlier. I was looking through my camera roll of that, and I saw that night. I was one of the aliens from
Toy Story.
From Toy Story, yeah. I've still got that outfit. I use the top as a pajama top now.
I think my most iconic look I've dressed up as is, I think, when I was working in America, we had like a themed dress-up day, and I dressed up as Tigger from Winnie the Pooh. And I dedicated my whole body painted in orange.
That's commitment.
That was...
I bet you regretted that when you had to have a shower.
Oh, literally, like, in the work showers, I just remember, like, just seeing, like, in the water, just an orange water going into the drain. I was like, that does not look good. And then, like, I think the day after, I was still, like, finding on random bits of my arms just orange paint. But that was the dedication. Anyway, for the next question, I'm going to say the characters' names because it might help remember some bells, because this is kind of more of a niche film. Jake Blue, just released from prison, puts together his old band to save the Catholic home where he and his brother Elwood were raised. This is a musical, if that helps anyone at all.
Oh, brah!
Yeah.
Blues Brothers.
It is Blues Brothers. They actually made a sequel in the year 2000, which was very poorly received, but this one was very well acclaimed and has some amazing renditions of like old and sort of blues songs.
I clearly need to watch some more films.
Right, this one, I'm just going to give it to whoever buzzes in first. I'm going to give it to you. You can stop me halfway reading this one because someone's going to know this instantly. A 17-year-old high school student is accidentally sent 30 years in the past in a time-traveling... the time-traveling DeLorean invented by his close friends, the eccentric scientist Blank. Go on then, and what is it?
Back to the Future.
It is Back to the Future. Again, that is like my favorite film of all time. It's like
My favorite film of all time.
I love it. It's a fantastic masterpiece, and then they did a great sequel, and they did a western.
You're not going to believe me when I say this, guys.
Don't say it.
Not seen it.
See, this is also, though, it gives you some films that you can sit down and watch if you're really bored in a day. Right, this one, yeah, we'll go with this one, see what happens. I'll read names again because it might help remind someone. A day in the life of two convenient clerks named Dante and Randall as they annoy customers, discuss movies, and play hockey on the store roofs. If this helps, this was the first film that Kevin Smith directed, yes?
Clerks?
It is Clerks. I'm actually very impressed that someone recognizes that film. It's a very old film. It was made on a small budget in a black and white film because they couldn't afford color. And
I've not seen it.
There's a theme going here. You're going to know one of these, Freya. You're going to jump in when no one else knows it.
I remember the last one.
But it's a film that's really impressively made. Like, they've shot it in like just some convenience store, and they had to shoot it at night, so they have to like keep all the blinds and everything shut just to hide what time of the day it is. Right, this one I think everyone will know. A New York police detective officer tries to save his wife and several others taken hostage by terrorists during a Christmas party at Nakanomi Plaza in Los Angeles.
I know it.
This was a film with Bruce Willis.
What's it called?
This is also the last film I think Bruce Willis had his own hair in before he
Oh my
went
god,
bald.
what is it called?
Wait, can you do the description again?
A New York police detective tries to save his wife and several others taken hostage by terrorists during a Christmas party at Nakanomi Plaza in Los Angeles.
Is it Die Hard?
It is Die Hard.
It's Die Hard. I've seen that one as well.
I haven't seen that one.
Oh, it's the greatest Christmas film of all times. Although
there's like a debate. Is it a Christmas film? Is it not a Christmas film?
It takes place on Christmas, so it's a Christmas film. It's the same rule with...
I actually really like Die Hard. I remember watching it at college.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure like some of these films are films I studied at college, like Clerks, Die Hard, I definitely studied at college. And they were just fun little things.
Did you do The Shining at college? We did The Shining.
I don't think we did The Shining. No, we did like... There were some weird ones. Like we did German Expressionism, so like the original Dracula. And that was interesting to watch.
We did about Stanley Kubrick, so...
Right. Again, this one people might know, so just jump in as soon as you know the answer. Two seemingly dumb teens set off on a quest to prepare the ultimate historical presentation with the help of a time machine.
Oh my god, I know this. I can't remember their names. Oh,
They are making their third film of this franchise, which is released either this year or next year, depending on when it is released.
Isn't it Woof? Isn't it like Bill and Ted's Epic Adventure or something?
What's the name of this show? I'll give you a hint. You're very close, but you just need to swap out one of the words.
It's not Epic, is it?
It's not Epic.
I don't know what it is.
What's the name of this show, Bex?
Excellent?
It is.
Excellent Adventure.
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. It is. It's a completely 80s film. It's like two guys one's going to get sent to the army, one's going to be forced to do whatever at school, and the only way to save it is for them to get a time traveling machine because they're the future saviors of the world. And
it has Keanu Reeves in, so
it does. And it's the weirdest role you've ever seen him in, I think, in a way, after you see all his other films. Right. A 16-year-old Sarah is given 13 hours to solve a maze and rescue her baby brother Toby when her wish for him to be taken away is granted by the Goblin King Jareth. This is, I believe, the only film with David Bowie in.
Labyrinth.
It is Labyrinth, yes. It is. I'm a very, like, if you watch Labyrinth again, you do get taken back. But it is, I think it's worth a watch. It's worth, because you see like a lot of puppet animation stuff. Like a lot of the characters are kind of puppet built, which is always interesting to see with actors. Right. This one again, as soon as you know it, just yell, because this one will probably go in the first 4 words. Three former I'm not going to say the psychology word. 3 former professors set up shop as a unique ghost removal service.
Woof.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters.
It is Ghostbusters. And they're also remaking that. Not remaking, rebooting, sequeling.
Yeah, reboot.
And they've got the guy who played Ant-Man. I'm going to forget his name now, although he's been in a lot of really good roles.
I can't remember his Now that you've said
It's
it.
eluding me, but he's been in fantastic stuff. He was in Friends as well.
Cool.
Right. Archaeologist and adventurer blank is hired by the US government to find the Ark of the Covenant before Adolf Hitler's Nazis can obtain its awesome power. This has Harrison Ford starring in it, if that helps anyone. And it is also... in 1936, archaeologist and adventurer blank is hired by the US government to find the Ark of the Covenant before Adolf Hitler's Nazis can obtain its awesome powers.
Wolf.
Yes?
Indiana Jones.
Can you tell me the full title?
Oh my god.
I was thinking Indiana Jones, but as soon as you said Hitler, I was like,
Yeah,
what?
That's the part of the first film, is them finding this Ark before the Nazis find it, and then...
Is it Raiders of the Lost Ark?
It is Raiders of the Lost Ark, the first from the franchise. Yeah, no, it is... You always forget that, like, I think when you watched it younger, you don't quite click onto it all, but...
Yeah, they've been on the TV recently, though, so I've been watching them.
Oh, they are fantastic.
When you were reading out the description, I was like, oh, it sounds somewhat like Indiana Jones. And then when you added Hitler, I was like,
yeah, that's
what the hell.
No, that's the whole thing, because it's like at the end of the film, they open up the Ark, and then all those like sort of things came and like melt their skins off. Because then it's like Indiana Jones helps end the war by preventing them from getting that. Right, and the last one we've got is a tune-hating detective is a cartoon rabbit's only hope to prove his innocence when he's accused of murder. I can give you the hint that I think this is the first film that ever introduced live action and animation at the same time. And also has a famous scene with Donald Duck and Daffy Duck on screen at the same time.
I do know what film it is, I just can't remember.
Has it got space in the name?
Oh,
No, I know what you're thinking, but that's going in the wrong direction.
Oh, okay.
It's a little bit earlier.
Is it Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
It is Who Framed Roger Rabbit. It was the first one, I'm pretty sure, that introduced a combination of animation and live actors, and I think Space Jam isn't that far behind it. I'm pretty sure Space Jam kind of does the same thing again, but with just Warner Brother characters.
Yeah, I think Space Jam was like 98, 96. I don't know.
It was something like that, because that's what was so big about Roger Rabbit at the time, was it was like the first film they integrated all these actors together. I'm just going through my scoring now, so that was 1, 2. Promote some films while I'm just counting real quick of what you'd recommend to watch.
Titanic.
The most happiest of films.
No, I've actually really been wanting to watch it. Oh, you know, I watched the is it 1996? What's it, Romeo and Juliet? Is it 1996? One with Leonardo DiCaprio in?
It might be, yes.
I watched that the other week. Amazing. You've not seen it?
No.
Oh.
Right.
Should.
Now, let's watch my counter be wrong here, but I think I can confirm with 6 points. The winner of the quiz is Bex, I want to say. But again, these films are all worth watching. A lot of them are sort of older ones. They are a bit dated now, so things like seeing Indiana Jones and seeing the scene where the Nazis get their skin melted off, I don't think it's as terrifying as watching other stuff nowadays, but
I've got to say that like 80s films are the best films.
Oh, there was Bill and Ted's is just that sort of generation of film. It just summarized it, like they didn't have to think about a plot, they just went with what they felt.
Yeah.
I feel like films are so overdone now.
Well, with franchises, isn't it? It's all franchise films. You don't get as many sort of like independent fun stories to tell.
Yeah, because all the stories have been told. Then all the films are like just repeats, just with different characters and different locations now.
It's the thing with Star Wars. Like, I don't know why that's still going.
Yeah, I mean, it was exciting. I think like when the first new franchise came out, that was exciting, and then I think it kind of renegated on its own in a way. Like, I don't know if anyone saw the last of the new trilogy, but like the plot twist, and then seeing like, you know, the original directors saying like, we weren't gonna do that move, we were gonna do something different, and you're like, you can kind of see where it was rushed ever so slightly.
Yeah, there was like auditions for the part of like Ray originally.
Yeah, Ray and I forget the name of lead male. They were both from auditions that they just sent in.
Yeah, but they like said on the thing that Rey would be Luke Skywalker's daughter. So I always thought it was going to follow that because of what the audition they'd put out. But then there was a whole plot twist.
Yeah, but it's just like saying that the guy who plays Spider-Man, they always tell him fake information because he always gives away like the plots of his films. If he gets told spoilers, he just gives them away by accident.
Oh, he's great though.
Oh, he is, isn't he? I mean,
I'm having a mind blank. What's his name?
I can remember Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire. I can remember those two. Can't remember the new guy now. As soon as I thought of him.
What's he called?
Oh gosh, it's completely gone. It's an English actor as well. He's English.
Yeah, Tom Holland. That's it.
That's
Tom
it.
Holland.
Yeah, Tom Holland.
Oh, Tom Holland's great.
So,
he's just known for his spoilers, isn't he?
Oh yeah, there are compilations on YouTube and stuff that you can sit and watch.
He's so funny.
But yeah, no, it's funny to see. But I think that's the same thing with Star Wars. They had to give some false information because if not, no one's going to watch the film. If you know this is like Luke's daughter.
Well, did you see that one of them left the script in the house when they moved because they left it under the bed? And
that was Tom Holland as well, I think.
Oh,
or was it Mark Ruffalo? It was one of them.
Oh yeah, I remember Mark did something wrong. Like
he live streamed Thor Ragnarok by accident on his phone. Like his phone was in his pocket. He was live streaming before the film was shown, and then I think he put it in his pocket and didn't realize he was still live streaming. So then, like, however many people could just stay on the live stream and get a glimpse of the new film.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think films now are really franchise heavy. So it's the reason I'm such a fan, like, a nostalgic for the 80s. It's like, if they had a story they wanted to tell, they'd tell it. And they just told it in a fun way. Like, they just do, like, some random story, like, there's these two guys and they want to make their own TV show, and then they just go off on their own little adventure. Where now it's all, like, reboots. Like, I think all the sort of summer releases, a lot of them are, like, kind of reboots or remakes of, like, classic properties.
Because I can't think of any original ideas.
Well, it's easy to promote. But anyway, as we are getting sort of towards the end point, is there any sort of platforms anyone wants to promote quickly? Anywhere that people can find your work?
Well, I am the content creator for Excellent News Delivery, and I've been working with some other people to make some designs. So you can find my Instagram on Bex W Portfolio on Instagram.
And there's someone that might be doing something on YouTube by any chance?
Yes. So during lockdown, just to cheer people up, I've started like a YouTube channel where people are going to be telling funny stories, things that have happened to them, just put a smile on people's faces, and that is called Social Laughter on YouTube.
Very nice. So you can find links to all those in the description below. Thank you so much for listening to the first episode. We'll be aiming to get this out on a weekly basis with different people on every week, and all the social media stuff will be below. But if you search Excellent News Delivery, most of it will just come up to you on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and then on YouTube itself. So thank you so much for listening, and we will see you next time.